The mandatory requirements, Jerry, are to have liability insurance that covers the damage and cost to somebody else. This is one of the most important coverages you can have. Okay? But it's so important that I myself, I don't even offer insurance without it.
Yes, what's up? Today we're going to talk further about talking insurance. Finally, we're going to do a quick recap on the FMCSA requirements. We're going to look at what are the additional components that might be helpful for an owner operator in his insurance policy. We're going to look, is it possible to bring down your premium and by getting different components from different insurance vendors into a single policy. To answer these queries, I'm going to interview Lionel Carmona. He's the owner of Front Range Insurance and has been in the trucking insurance business for more than 11 years. Before we go ahead, if you have any queries or doubts with respect to insurance, there's a link below in the description. Please get in touch with us, and one of us will be more than happy to help you out. Once again, we have Lionel Carmona from Front Range Insurance. Welcome, Lionel, again, and thanks a lot for taking time out.
Jerry, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Right. So, Lionel, as I know you've been working with truckers in the insurance field for more than 11 years now. So that's the reason I think today. So that's the reason you're here, and I think you'll add a lot of value to the kind of questions that we get from carriers and owner operators. So in today's, in the last show, as we remember, we discussed, the basic trucking insurance requirement from DOT and FMCSA. What all coverage is required, or what are the basic necessities, or that is required. In today's show, what we would like to learn from you is what is the right insurance plan, right? And a couple of questions. So these are a couple of questions that few of my friends and a couple of drivers have asked me in the past too. So I thought I'll just shoot at you, and you would be the right person to give us the answers. So let's start with it. So let's do a recap. So what are the mandatory coverages required to get an authority? Let's do a quick recap of that.
Correct. Quick recap of that. The mandatory requirements, Jerry, are to have liability insurance that covers the damage and cost to somebody else. The limit is $750,000.
Right.
To be able to get loads, you're going to need cargo insurance, and that's going to respond for the loads you're carrying. And generally, the limit we're seeing on that is $100,000.
$100,000, and then you have the add-ons, if I'm right, if I need to add.
Absolutely correct. Then you have some of the additional things that will protect your truck, for example, such as physical damage. You have additional coverages such as uninsured motorist coverage. This is optional. The FMCSA will not require this, but in my opinion, this is one of the most important coverages you can have. And the reason I say that, Jerry, is because this is the part of the policy that's going to take care of my owner-operator. If some knucklehead without insurance wrecks into them and causes them to roll over, and now somebody is hurt, or God forbid they even die, this is the part of the policy that covers the driver. It's not required, and believe it or not, I've seen many policies without it, but it's so important that I myself, I don't even offer insurance without it. It's a very low rated cost.
Okay.
On average, you might spend $400 to $500 a year, but you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your driver, so it is highly important.
Makes sense. And so another question is, right, so can I split my insurance policy? What I meant is, for example, can I choose one insurance company for my cargo, one for my liability, and one for those additional? I'm just out of curiosity.
Yeah, Joey, that's actually a really good question, because that is a strategy that we employ all the time.
Okay.
So we're looking at a company that looks at Jerry as an owner-operator who's coming in, and they say, Jerry, this is how much we're going to charge you for the liability. This is how much we're going to charge you for physical damage. And this is how much we're going to charge you for cargo.
Okay.
If it makes sense, we'll tell them, okay, well, thank you for the liability. We'll take that from you, and maybe we have a better option for the cargo. So we'll take that cargo, we'll obtain it from a different company. And maybe the physical damage, we can pick that up at a lower rate from yet a different company. So yes, at times it may be beneficial to split that out and take that coverage from different companies with the end goal of saving you money and providing the right coverage. Now, one thing to be mindful about, if that's a strategy we're employing, let's make sure that those companies providing the other insurance have the ratings necessary for your freight broker. Your freight broker may require the policies that have at least an A rating. I've had some brokers that they don't like the Lloyd's programs.
Okay.
And in years prior, Lloyd's did have some problems with claims, but now they're Johnny on the spot. They've been very responsive, but we don't want to give you a policy that's not going to satisfy your broker.
So basically, we have, as an owner operator or a carrier, I need to be very careful, like to select the right insurance company too, or the right insurance plan itself. Like both are important, plan as well as the company that I work with.
Absolutely. And generally, a good strategy for this is if you already know you're going to be working with ABC broker.
Okay.
What are your requirements for me to work for you? And generally, they'll give you a list saying, this is what I need. Then you can take that to your insurance broker and say, this is what I need to satisfy. Find me the best insurance that satisfies this. That way you're not wasting time. You're not spinning your wheels, buying something that later somebody tells you, oh, I'm sorry, that's not going to work.
And tell me this, for example, I could be a single owner operator with a single trailer, or I could be a fleet owner, right? There would be a difference, right? I guess, in the kind of plans, both.
Correct. So there are much different options for a fleet. We have insurance companies that will not look at you as an owner operator. They only consider fleets of 3 to 5. We have others that will only consider fleets of 15 and higher. And then we have some companies that want to see fleets of 50 or more. So it really comes down to having enough people that understands trucking, that understands you and your goals. So as a listener, you're going to shop for insurance, don't only tell your agent, this is what I have now. Let's talk about the future. Maybe you're starting with one power unit now, but you plan to see some growth over the next few years of adding one power unit per year. The insurance companies don't mind that. But if you're coming in and you're starting with one, and all of a sudden you jump into 5, there's some insurance companies that don't look favorably on that. Because rapid growth, unfortunately, comes with rapid claims. So they like to see slow and steady, and most of the time you'll be fine with that.
Oh, nice. So why don't we summarize the whole thing? For example, so for me as an owner operator or a new carrier, right? Let's see. Let's summarize. Put all the eggs in the basket, and let's come up with a complete answer. Okay, what all do I need now? Let's say.
Okay, you're coming in new as an owner operator. Let's put it all in one basket, Terry. Yes, what you need is you need your liability. This is what's covering other people. The minimum is $750,000. Any broker who's worth their weight in salt will hopefully be recommending that you go up to $1 million. So now with that, you've covered other people from the damage you can do to them. Check. Next thing is we want to cover your equipment. It's not uncommon for somebody coming into the industry to spend $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 on their equipment. So let's protect that equipment.
Right.
We don't want to overinsure it because you're going to be paying more money than you need to. At the event of a claim, you'll get paid based on the actual cash value. If you insure your equipment for $100,000, but it's only going to come back at a $60,000 actual cash value, you're only getting $60,000. So let's make sure we dial that in. Let's make sure you have the uninsured motorist coverage. Highly important. It covers the operator, it covers their drivers, and it's not very expensive. You want to make sure we cover your cargo. That load you're pulling, it's not uncommon for that to be worth $50,000 or $100,000. And if you're hauling electronics, that could very well be $250,000. Let's make sure your load is covered properly.
Yeah, I've come across that. Yeah, I think for electronics it's $250,000. That's what brokers ask for typically for cargo. Good. So, I now I get a fair idea of what all is needed for me as an owner operator. I guess we've answered most of the queries, and thanks again for coming on with us and answering these questions. We will, come meet again with few more questions once soon.
Gary, I'm already looking forward to it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Leo. You have a wonderful day ahead. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope this video was really helpful. If you're into trucking business and you need some help with insurance or have some doubts or queries, there's a link below in the description. Please get in touch with us. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till next time, drive safe, make lots of money. May God bless you, your family, and your business abundantly. Cheers.